great work this week. Today's class is mostly about recovery and soaking up all the goodness that you've done for yourself. So today's class is going to be a flow class, but it'll be more of gentle flow and more stretching, so we can kind of stretch out those muscles that we worked, especially in the hip class. So if we're going to do this, we're going to start in child's pose. So bring your toes to touch and your knees can come out towards the edge of the mat. If this is not accessible to you, if your hips hurt, or if you're just not comfortable here, you can bring your knees back in together. And then walk your hands out towards the front of your mat and lay your forehead down on the floor. We're going to start by just taking in some big deep breaths in through the nose, and then exhale through your mouth, kind of like you're fogging up the mirror in your bathroom. So big deep breath in, big deep breath out. Again, deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more, deep breath in, deep breath out. On an inhale, walk your hands over to the left and stretch out that right side body. Take a breath here. And then on an inhale, walk your hands through the middle and then over to the right side, stretch out that left side body. Take a big breath. And then exhale your hands back to center. Come up to tabletop pose. So hands below your shoulders and knees below the hips. Take a few cat-cows here. So press your belly button towards the floor. Look up. Round your spine. Gaze goes down by your feet or your knees. Again, belly button to the spine. Press the belly button towards the floor, and then round your spine. Come to a neutral table here. Plant your left hand under your nose. Reach the right hand up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to thread that needle. So thread the right hand underneath that left armpit. Reach the left hand out to the front of your mat, and then settle into that shoulder so you can stretch the back of your body. Deep breath here. Inhale, bring that left hand back by your face and your right hand back down to the floor. Inhale, your left hand reaches. And then thread the needle on the left side. Right hand reaches for the front of your mat. Focus on your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Right hand comes back by the face. Press yourself up. Tabletop pose. Bring your right foot up to the right corner of the mat by your right hand. And then sink low into those hips. You may want to walk your hands out forward towards the front of your mat. Enjoy the stretch here. You might even reach that right hand up towards the ceiling, or you can take a wrap. All of those are just options if you'd like to take them. You can also rest the hand on the knee if you'd like. Come back to table, bring that right knee back, and then step the left side up. Left foot up. Walk your hands back out and take any of those other variations that I showed you if those feel good to you. All optional and available. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Come back to tabletop. Come up to your knees. And then stand up nice and tall from your knees. Flex your feet. A couple of things we're going to do here. I want you to sit back. I want you to sit back onto your heels. You might not have space here. You may be able to sit all the way down, or you may have tons of space and you might not be able to go very far. This is a foot stretch, so we're just trying to kind of break loose that fascia in the foot, and we won't be here very long. It can get pretty intense. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Come on back up, tap your feet up. Now flex your feet again. This time take your right hand and reach for the right ankle, and then the left hand reaches for the ceiling. Stretch out that front body, enjoy that stretch. Then take your left hand and swing it around, reach for the left ankle. Right hand reaches up to the ceiling. This is called moving camel. And we're just stretching. Not going fast, not doing anything crazy. Let's do one more on this side. Great, come back down to the floor, tabletop pose. Let's stretch out our wrists. Particularly if you work at a desk, you should probably try to do wrist stretches every day. But for now, we're just gonna do them here. Flip the palms up towards your face. And breathe. Come up to the knuckles. Then you're gonna point your fingertips out to the edge of the mat. You can bring your wrists close together if that's accessible to you, and if not, you can leave them wide and you can rock side to side. Deep breath here. Great job. Shake them out. Let's get a little movement into our recovery, shall we? Plant your hands, send your hips up high, find a downward facing dog. Take a little walk here if you need to, pedal out those feet. It should feel pretty good after yesterday's HIIT work on the back of the legs there. If you can find some stillness, you can bend your knees a little bit or straighten them. Maybe you find the heels on the floor and maybe you don't. It doesn't matter, it's okay. Spread your fingers wide and then press the tips of your fingers into the mat, and that will help alleviate some of the pressure off of your wrist. And then inhale your knees forward. Walk, step or float your feet to the front of the mat. Find ragdoll pose. Grab for your elbows here. You're gonna hang, just sway side to side. Belly should be resting on those legs. So keep them bent as much as you need to. Nothing stressful here on the low back or the hamstrings. Maybe you sway side to side. Release your hands to the floor. Bend the left knee. Rest the left elbow on the knee. Straighten your right leg and then reach your right hand towards the ceiling. Open the chest. Big breath here. And then switch. Bend the right knee, plant the right elbow, straighten the left leg, and then reach left hand up. Big breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly come all the way up. Chin it to the chest until you get all the way to the top. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together and look up. Arch your back. Exhale, reach up. Fold forward. Take your peace sign fingers, grab for those big toes. Bend your knees greatly and poke your elbows out like you're poking your neighbor. Let your head hang heavy, and after you bend your elbows and pull yourself down, then you could start to lift your hips up, pulling yourself apart in different directions. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Release your hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. High plank, and then lower yourself to the floor. Baby cobra. Flex or flip the tops of your feet, press them into the mat. Lift your chest up, little to no weight in those hands. Exhale your forehead back down. Child's pose, press back. Downward facing dog, hips go high. Inhale, gaze goes forward. Walk, step, or float your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Bring your hands together. Release your pointer fingers. Bring your feet close together. Squeeze everything into the middle. Send your hips one way and then your fingertips the other way. Really stretching out that side body. Bring yourself back through the center and then send your hips the other way. Fingers the opposite direction. Don't hold your breath here. This is very easy to do when you're in this position, but don't hold your breath. Squeeze the glutes together to protect your low back. Inner thighs should be racing towards one another. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, back to center. This time you can release your head to the ceiling, and you can stay right here if this is all you want. Otherwise, you can engage the glutes here, squeeze, and then start to send your fingers down the ceiling towards the wall behind you for a little micro back bend. And come up very slowly. Bring your hands to heart center. Big breath in, and big breath out. Inhale, your arms reach. Exhale, you fold forward. Inhale, find halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, high plank. Lower down all the way to the floor, baby cobra. Push back, child's pose. Downward facing dog. Hips go high. Inhale your right leg up. Bend your knee, open your hip. Step forward halfway. Pyramid pose. So you can shorten your stance as much as you need to here, and you can take a micro bend in that front leg, but you're hinging from the hips forward. One day you reach the hands to the floor or to the block if you need a block to elevate the floor. And you'll find maybe one side is tighter than the other, especially after you work out. So breathe. You do not need to go all the way down. It's okay. Just trying to stretch out the back of your leg. Breathe. From pyramid, plant your hands on the floor, lift your left leg up, standing splits. You do not need to lift your foot up higher than even where I'm at. This is more of just for the hamstring stretch. Deep breath in. Bring that left foot to meet the right forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Standing mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, lower yourself all the way to the floor. This time, King Cobra, lift your chest up higher, keep your elbows bent. Exhale, fold. Push back, child's pose. Into down dog. Curl your toes under. Hips go high. Deep breath in. Left leg lifts. Bend your knee, open your hip. Step forward halfway. Pyramid pose on this leg. You'll notice maybe one side can go further than the other. It doesn't matter, it's all good. Just breathe. Deep breath here. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Plant your hands, lift that right leg up, standing splits. Then right foot meets the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come down to a seat. Legs out long in front of you. Maybe you pedal out those knees a little bit if you need to. Inhale, your arms reach. Exhale, fold forward. Now, who cares if you touch your toes or not? It doesn't matter. Just find a stretch that's comfortable but working for you. Take a breath. Inhale your chest back up. Cross your legs, come around. Down to your belly. Full upward facing dog here. So straighten your arms, lift your chest up. And then push back. Child's pose. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts to right side pigeon. So that right knee comes up by the right wrist and that right heel can go back by the left groin. And if your hips don't touch the floor like mine, you can set a block here and that way you can rest, or even a pillow. You can really rest your legs in this position. You can also reach back for the back foot. If you want this quad stretch, take it. That might feel really good here. Or you can sleep your pigeon by folding forward onto your forearms. We'll take a few breaths here. Inhale your chest up. Send the right foot back to meet the left. Lower yourself down to your belly. Upward facing dog. Child's pose. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Left side pigeon. Settling in here on this side. Again, you can reach for that quad if you want that stretch too. Should feel good. And then come to find yourself folding forward and sleeping your pigeon. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Come up onto your hands. Swing that right leg around in front of you. Keep the left foot in towards the hips. And then you're going to inhale, your arms reach up. Exhale, hinging from the side, reach for that right foot, stretching out the left side rib cage. Now square your shoulders to the floor. So you'll notice I'll take my left hand and reach for the outside of that right leg. And I actually enjoy taking my right hand and resting it on that left shoulder just so I can help a little bit more than gravity here, pull myself and open up the back body. Take a breath. And then plant your left hand behind your left hip. Swing your right hand around and then reach those hips up towards the ceiling for a modified wild thing. Great, come back down. And we'll switch sides. So bring the right leg in and the left leg goes out. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, reaching over, stretching out the side body. Reach and stretch here. Now you're going to take the right hand and reach for the outside of that left leg or foot. And then if it feels comfortable, like I'm doing, placing that hand on top of the right shoulder and gently pulling it towards the floor. To me, it actually feels good on my back, but if it doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. Inhale, reach up, and then plant your right hand behind the right hip. Swing the left around, and then arch your back, modified wild thing. And then come back down. Find a seated easy pose. Crisscross applesauce. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Sit up nice and tall. And exhale. Bring your hands on your knees and have them facing up. We're going to repeat 3 words in our head over and over for a few breaths while we touch individual fingers on our hand. So we're going to say our first name, Dulcie. Relax your mind and body. Dulcie. Relax your mind and body. And I want you to do this silently for 5 breaths. Close your eyes. Exhale. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more deep breath in. Fill your lungs all the way up. Hold your breath at the top. And then open your mouth, let a huge sigh. One more deep breath in. And deep breath out. Thank you so much for joining me this week for our first week of Sculpt. I hope you've enjoyed the class, and I don't want you to be stationary for 2 days. I want you to get out, walk, ride a bike, play with your kids, find some friends. Be active, but also active rest. Take care of yourself, drink lots of water, and I'll see you again very soon. Namaste.